I've said it many times, I know I would change my ways, I know for sure. When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet. I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little while. When I was young, I thought control would lead me to an ending road, and heavy metal seemed to be the only thing that was for me. And I saw the angels coming down, and they sang a song, they sang it loud, and I still remember parts of it, and the yellow glorious were lit. Won't you be my guide and let me follow? Can I hold your hand for old time's sake? All this time you waited for me. Little did we know, I guess it's fate. Now all is in our hands. All is in our hands. All is in our hands.
You know, we're out in the trail, so you get all relaxed. The air is thin. You get a little lightheaded.
Trail vibes, baby.
Yeah. I mean, we did try to score some legal weed when we were out there. It turns out Colorado Springs is medical.
It's like a conservative.
Marijuana,
It's
yeah.
also very conservative.
Yeah, so
area.
so we didn't get high.
Just
Oh,
high.
elevation high.
We got elevation high and high on life.
Rob even did incline.
I did.
Yeah, but we'll get
Are
into
we
that
still-
later.
Are we,
Yeah,
are
we
we
gotta
doing
talk
the
about.
review right now?
Yeah, I'm Thomas from Believe in the Run,
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
and today we're talking about the Salomon.
Ultra Glide. It's like if you're just gliding across an ultra. That's never happened before for anyone.
I don't know, Courtney Dauwalter.
Maybe her.
She seems to glide through them.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in for our podcast with her because Robbie asked her about her favorite candy.
Yeah. Mike and Ike's, basically all movie theater candy.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love that though, for real?
But I'm guessing since you clicked on this video, you really want to know about this shoe. Not our trip to Colorado, not Courtney Dauwalter, or maybe, but you're here for the shoe. We'll get into the shoe. Let's do it, Robbie.
Okay, cool. So the Salomon Ultra Glide, it's a little bit different looking Salomon shoe than we're used to. When you think of Salomon, you think S-Lab, you think trail, you think fast, Kilian Jornet, Courtney Dauwalter. You don't so much think of like comfortable, more higher stack running shoes.
You think firm, you think sort of rigid, like not as flexible as this. It's a high performance shoe, and they've really focused for many years on just that. How fast can you hit the trails? What's the best grip for it?
Grip it and rip it.
Yeah, I think when we look at a shoe that's coming from Salomon, this is gonna be a hit just because it's so accommodating so many different types of runners. And what's interesting about this trail shoe off the bat is it's done on a different last than their normal trail shoes. So if you're like, I can't wear Salomon's too narrow, this shoe is specifically made a little bit wider in the toe box and it has a wider last.
So let's get into the upper of the shoe. Start out with that.
Well, some people get scared when you say wider, if you have a narrow foot like me. But Robbie, what are these wings on the side?
So it has Sense-It wings. That's not a real word,
Yeah,
but they made it
you
one.
seem sensitive.
Yeah, thank you.
You're fit and sensitive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good descriptor. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Put that on the resume for life.
Sensitive.
The Sense-It wings here on the side to kind of like lock in the foot with the Salomon quick lace system, which we've seen in other shoes. It's kind of their thing. It's basically like the cooler lock laces. Like, I think lock laces are cool, but
Yeah, I get what you said. They look a little more technical. It's kind of like if you're not gonna have BOA and you're not gonna have lock laces, here's the SensaFit.
Yep.
And what is really cool about this one is you have the tongue locker. So once you go ahead and tighten up your shoe and get that good fit.
look, this one's already locked up.
Oh, it is?
And it's
I don't even have to do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's lace garage, as we like to say here.
Garage.
In the
In the
US.
boot. It works pretty well. You've got a little padding on the tongue that protects you from these laces. This says Ortholite Impressions, which I'm guessing means that this tongue has a little bit of Ortholite in it, because the insole does not.
No, it is not an Ortholite insole. But the tongue very comfortable. I love the quick lace system. You can really get it locked down however you want. And I love tucking away the laces. I wish other companies would do that, especially trail
At
companies.
first I was like, what's the big deal? But when you're trail running and your laces are flopping around, there's debris, there's bush, there's sticks, there's stuff that can grab those laces. It was kind of nice having that nice secure feeling, laces hidden away. Works really well. These are supposed to be so strong that pretty much nothing can break them.
Okay, let's
Robbie's
see about
pretty
that.
strong, so let's see. Robbie, again,
Shocker.
has been
We're all
beaten by a
shocked.
pair of laces. Mine's a half size down, so I have a size 10, normally wear a size 10 and a half, and these fit perfect. And actually, I had a lot of room in the toe for a size 10.
Yeah, I think you should go a half size down. I had to do the same thing, actually. I got a half size up, but it was like a whole size too big, so
Yeah.
half size down would be good for you.
Yeah, half size down. Now I did feel that the upper, when they said it's a little wider, the only time I really noticed them playing it was if we were cornering hard, like when we were coming down the slope and I corner hard, I did feel my foot come over a little bit. Not sure any shoe's gonna.
The good thing about having more room in the toe box is you have more room for toe display. You don't always jam your toes right up against the front on downhill or against rocks. But I do feel like maybe cornering, you get a little bit of action in there. Personally, I have issues sometimes with the inside of my big toes, like rubbing. And so I did have that a little bit with this shoe.
So the toe rubbing, your big toe rubbing against
Yeah,
the
just
outside.
depending on the kind of shoe it is, like I've sometimes have that issue, and I felt that a little bit like a hot spot.
I didn't have any problems with it. So I didn't get any hot spots. I did get a little bit of sliding in aggressive situations, but I don't know how many shoes are gonna protect against that. Looking at other things on the upper, Robbie, you're gonna see that there's some protection. A lot of times when you're gonna see trail shoes are gonna bust out along here
Right.
or on the side. I don't even know why that happens, but I guess it's rubbing rocks or whatever. You're gonna
Yeah.
see some extra protection
I mean,
overlay on this
when you're
shoe.
going on downhills and turns, you get a lot more force against the walls of the shoe and so on. In the development process of this shoe, they had Courtney Dauwalter putting in a lot of input into it. She had put in a couple 100 miles on a couple different pairs.
Yeah,
of
and Max King
prototypes.
did like 500 miles in one pair, one prototype.
And by the way, Solomon's expecting this shoe to last for 500 miles, so that's what they're throwing out there. I mean, 500 miles in trails, man.
Yeah, and we'll get into why, and it has a lot to do with this new foam that they're using and how long it stays fresh under your feet.
Might as well get into it.
Yeah, Robbie, you know what it's called.
Yeah, so the new foam is called...
Robbie doesn't know what it's called.
I just slipped my mind.
It's called fuzzy foam.
What is it?
Can you look at it? I don't remember that. I was counting on you. I was counting on Robbie.
Do you know?
Mistake number one. So continue with weird names. What's the name of the midsole material, Robbie?
Energy Surge.
Isn't that the same thing as a Monster energy drink? Or
No,
something?
Surge was the cheaper, like the Coca-Cola Mountain Dew in the 90s. Dude, I pounded a lot of those as a kid.
He still pound a Mountain Dew.
Whatever. There we go.
Energy Surge, tell me about it, because it feels really nice underfoot. It's light.
So it's an injected EVA. I forget like the technical term that's injected with.
Infused, it was like olefin, which to me I thought was something else. But anyway, if you want to find out about that, you can listen to our podcast where we talk to Mike Ambrose, the PLM for trail, and he goes over some of the things. I don't even know if
that's coming out next week, by the way.
Yeah, coming out next week.
The end result of it is basically like a soft, pretty cushy, bouncy midsole that's gonna give you a lot of comfort on the trails.
To me, reminds me of a softer Nike Cushlon feel, like in the Pegasus 36.
Okay.
Just a softer, bouncier feel, which was really nice on the trail. I didn't even notice the more firm foam insert towards the toes, which help protect against rocks and also give you a little more toe-off feel. I think it's good that I didn't notice it because the shoe just feels really comfortable over the trail miles.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this shoe a lot in the miles that we spent on it, or spent in it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the HOKA Speed Goat. I just feel like the stack is too much. I don't get a good ground feel. But I do like a nicely cushioned shoe.
I think it's like a softer Torrent.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. So I just thought the ride was exactly kind of what I like in a trail shoe. And it has this kind of like rocker geometry, it gets you rolling.
6 millimeter drop. What's the stack, Robbie?
32 millimeters in the heel, 26 in the forefoot.
And what type of terrain we ran this on? We were out in Colorado. We ran the trail. Salomon was nice enough to bring us out, meet Courtney, meet Mike Ambrose, and do some miles on the trail. And at first I was looking at this tread, Robbie, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to be aggressive enough to really bite into stuff. And I thought maybe it's a good road to trail shoe, which I do think it would be, but we were going over some pretty aggressive terrain with loose sand, with pumice, like stone, like a lot of it, and we were doing pretty good inclines. It wasn't like switchbacks, it was more like rolling inclines.
Yeah.
And I always felt pretty darn secure.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how good this outsole grip, because we were like, you know, jumping off rocks, like taking some turns, and it really hooked into them pretty well. And I should say, even though we did go out there for like a Salomon event, I'm really glad this is a good shoe, because
it would have sucked.
Like would have been awkward to be like, yeah, this is like not.
Yeah, this was it was a little unnerving because we were gonna go out there and meet the team, try the shoe, do the whole thing, and we are like, fingers crossed. But
like at the same time, Salomon aren't idiots. They know what they're doing with shoes.
Yeah, they
so
do.
It's like, you know, I think we can address the elephant in the room in that, like, HOKA Speed Goat has really kind of taken a top spot in the running world for a lot of like just especially average ultra runners.
In the niche where you're going to compare this shoe to is probably like a Speed Goat. I'd say a softer Torrent, but it's definitely in that more cushioned shoe that you're going to put on your feet for long distance.
Even Megan thought it reminded her of the Challenger, right?
Yeah, she thought the Challenger ATR
is the most max cushion, I think, HOKA's trail shoe. Anyways, enough about that. So yeah, overall, really liked running in this shoe. I'm excited to get more miles in on it. By the way, this is the women's colorway, which I think is my favorite color.
I did like the women's colorway. It looks really good out there. You know, it's a really nice rust. You can't beat the blue. It was also
it's
great
like the
out
Salomon
there.
blue. I feel
Yeah,
like
Salomon blue. It's a standard. Overall, we had some other runners. We're gonna hear kind of what they had to say about it. We'll include that in this video. Little like testimonial after people ran in it at the event we were at, and you're gonna see that pretty much across the board, all different levels of runners really enjoyed this shoe. I think they did a nice job of developing a shoe to fit a niche that Salomon hasn't been in.
And by the way, this shoe does cost $140, so it is a little bit above, it's in that range.
It's in the range. It's maybe $10 more than a comparable shoe, but what they're talking about is 500 miles on this midsole.
Right.
So maybe you're keeping this around a little longer. You can see it's got full rubber coverage. That's going nowhere.
And talking to Courtney Dauwalter, she was like, this is the shoe I'm wearing like this whole year. Like basically it's her go-to shoe at this point. And this shoe is gonna come out in July. There's not like an official release date, as with like pretty much every shoe these days. So we're looking at a July release.
You know what's nice about this, Robbie?
Nope. That you can juggle it?
Well, I probably could. Let me see.
Don't break the mic.
Yeah. No, it's lightweight, and lightweight on the trails is as good as it is lightweight on the roads. So let's check it out for size 10 men's US, 10.48 ounces. And when I say light, we're talking trail shoe light, obviously. 297 grams.
Yeah, so it's pretty pretty reasonable for a higher stack trail shoe. Definitely.
Higher stack trail shoe with this much rubber on it,
Yeah.
and all these features.
I guess I can
not
do
bad.
do you want me to do women's 7.5?
Yeah,
Women's 7.5, 248 grams.
8.75 ounces. So Meg also complained that hers ran a little bit big at her normal size 7.5. So make sure you try a half size down in the shoes.
And by the way, Salomon sizing is a little bit different. So their men's and women's sizes are only one size apart, not a size and a half as in most shoes.
I didn't even know that.
True.
Little facts. He's dropping knowledge on me.
Yeah.
All right, so that's about it. Robbie, we want him to watch or listen. I guess watch and listen to that podcast.
Yeah,
because we're gonna have a video.
Yeah, and that'll be coming out. It's not out yet, probably. So that'll be.
It'll be out around this time. You may be watching this, it's already out, but what you're gonna learn on that video is we talked to Mike Ambrose, the PLM from Salomon and Trail, and he goes over the shoe and what they were thinking and their thought process behind the shoe and how it worked out. And then we're gonna talk to Courtney about how she enjoys the shoe and also just general information about Courtney's running.
Which is crazy. Like the way that she goes so deep into, what she calls the pain cave. I don't even know. I think I've stepped like a foot into the pain cave before and been like, I'm good.
I've seen the pain cave and I moved to a different neighborhood. Yeah. I was like, yeah,
there's
it's good enough for me.
Scary stuff in there.
Anyway, also go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, check us out on Instagram, join our Strava group, do all the things. Say hi to your mom, Rob.
Hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. It's like 5 days later, so 2 days late.
But now it's immortalized in video.
I'll just send her this video every Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
That sounds good. What's her name?
Kathy.
Happy Mother's Day, Kathy.
All right. Peace.
All right. Bye.
Oh, it says Ortholite here, though.
That's so weird.
Does it not say on that?
It says Ortholite Impressions. What does that mean? Because I will tell you this.
See, that's
That's
just
not
normal.
Ortholite.
No, that's not. Maybe it says you're supposed to do an Ortholite impression.
Okay, yeah. I'm an Ortholite.
Just lie down on your bed, on your footbed. Very comfy looking.
All right. That's definitely not an Ortholite. Maybe the tongue is Ortholite because it feels really squishy.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's how it is. I bet it is. Anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. All right. That's not the end of the video.
No. It's like in the middle.
Now let's go to the...
Now a word from our sponsor.
I really like the lace. It's the first time I've used it. It is easy to use, and I like the pocket so it doesn't clank around. For the actual run itself, I really enjoyed how light the shoe is. It works well on gravel, it works well on rocks, and the exposed roots on some of these hills. And overall, it was a good run. I like the arch support. It feels like it has arch support, at least for me and my foot shape. And I like it. I hope it works out, and I hope to get a pair.
So my first experience with Salomon's was what I think is pretty positive. A lot of experience with shoes over the miles, and these were very light, very flexible, and stuck to the rocks really well, which is critical for me. I'm always on the trails. All I felt, it was comfortable. It was not hard on my feet at all.
Used to run in Salomon's X Missions, and I switched because they were stiff, right? And these are not. They're amazing. They my foot folded with them, which I like. So I was able to get some good range of motion. I felt really stable because I'm a pronator, and they're really stable. Here there's so many different types of terrain. We've got the concrete and the rocks and the scree and everything, and I felt really secure, like the grip was really good.
Got it.
And I also really love how the shoelaces didn't drive me nuts. They weren't jumping up and down the whole time I was running, which is huge, right? So I like the little pocket thing right here. This thing is amazing. How you can tuck it up underneath, and it's super fast and doesn't take a really long time, which is nice. Ta-da!
I actually really loved them. They're really grippy, incredibly stable, and they felt really responsive to me. They're not stiff. My biggest complaint in Salomon's has always been they've been kind of stiff and my feet get sore. And I felt great in these the entire time.